Hello everyone, welcome back one more time. And in this video, we will be studying about the civics chapter, one of the civics chapter, which is very important for 8th ICSE grade, as well as later on, it will add value to your knowledge for grade 10th ICSE as well. We are discussing about the second part of our government, or rather I would say the second branch, that is the union executive. In our last lecture, we had studied about the legislative branch. We all know that legislature makes the rules, executive implements the rules or laws, and judicial branch makes sure that laws are implemented and protected by everyone. So, what is this executive branch? As we have already studied, that it is an body which implements the law which is being made by the legislature. So let's begin it. Dear students, as you all can see this chart, this is the union executive of the present government. We are having the president, who is the head, who is the constitutional head of the union executive. We are having vice president, we are having prime minister, and the council of ministers. Dear students, let me tell you very clearly: president Mr. Ramnath Kovind, vice president Shri Venkaiah Naidu ji, and the prime minister Honorable Narendra Modi sir, we all are the important members of the executive branch which implements the law made by legislature body. Now, talking about the president, let me tell you, there are two forms of government: presidential form of government and parliamentary form of government. India is a parliamentary form of government where president is the constitutional head. Now, what is the meaning of constitutional head? Means all the documents, all the laws will be passed by the name of the president. But the real head, the real head of the executive branch is the Prime Minister of India. Yes, in India, the parliamentary form of government, the Prime Minister is the head. The President will do or act as per the guidance of the Prime Minister and his Council of Ministers. That's how the Union Executive runs. Dear students, the image which you can see right now is of the President of India, Mr. Ramnath Kovind. Now, we are going to study that how the President of India is appointed. Let me tell you, we, the common citizens, we don't have that right to select the President of India. The President of India is selected in an indirect election. Of course, indirect election. There are two terms: direct elections and indirect election. So, direct election is the election where the citizens choose their leaders directly in elections by voting. And indirect election means the citizens don't choose the leaders. So, the President of India is one of the example of it. So, who can be the President of India? What qualities he should possess, or what qualities he should have, or rather, I would say, what is the qualification to become the President of India? The basic qualification to become the President of India is the person should be the permanent citizens of India. He should have minimum 35 years of age, and he should qualified for the election as a member of Lok Sabha. Whether he belongs to the Lok Sabha or not, that doesn't matter, but he should have the qualities to become the member of Lok Sabha. He should not hold any office of profit under the government of India, state government, or any local authority. In short, he should not have any government job. He should not be the member of either house of the people or house of the legislature of any state. Means he should not be the member of the Lok Sabha or any of the Vidhan Sabha or the state legislature. Dear students, we have discussed about the qualification of the president, that what qualities should the president have. Now in this video, in this slide, we will be discussing about the election process. As discussed earlier, that the president is appointed indirectly by the citizens. We choose the members of Lok Sabha and the state legislature assembly, and these members choose the president. The president of the India is appointed by an electoral college. Now, what is electoral college? My dear students, electoral college is the very key word. Electoral college means the members of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, in short, the member of parliament, and the member of each state of state legislature assembly or Vidhan Sabha. They all combine together or take part in election to choose the president. Dear students, the president of India is appointed for the term of 5 years. After completing the 5 years terms, he can be re-elected. But in between, if the president wants to leave or resign by his own will, he can resign by signing the resignation and submitting it to the vice president of India. There is a one more and important process that is called as impeachment. Impeachment is the process through which the house of the parliament or the leaders can remove the president from his post if he is found guilty by guilty for breaking the rules, or is there any criminal record on him, or he has done anything serious crime, then in that case he will be removed. Again, I am repeating, the removal of the president is called as the impeachment process. Dear students, in the video I have described that the president is the head of the executive branch, but only for the namesake. He has to take all the decision by consulting to the prime minister of the country or the council of ministers. So the question will be, then why is president appointed? What powers he is having? Why can't prime minister take the direct decisions? So now we are going to study about some powers of the president, which makes the president of India a very important post. So here you can see the powers of the president, in which you are having executive powers where the president will be implementing the laws, legislative powers, that what is the role of the president in making the rules or laws, financial powers, judicial powers, emergency powers, miscellaneous powers, and military powers as well. So we are going to discuss each powers in details of the president. Dear students, in this slide you can see the executive powers of the president. The president appoints the prime minister from the political party which has won the elections, or sometimes two political party which combines together to form the government. The leader from those two political parties can be appointed as the prime minister, and sometimes single largest party which has won the maximum number of seats in the Lok Sabha election can be appointed as the prime minister by the president. Second point says that once the prime minister is appointed of the country, he can, of course, he cannot hold that important position alone. He wants help. He wants the members. He wants other ministers who can help the prime minister. So prime minister advise the president to select some members. Example, we can take the sports minister, railway ministers, etc. The third point, of course, apart from the prime minister and the council of ministers, the president appoints the high official government rank holder or high officials job profile members such as comptroller and auditor general and the attorney general. Attorney general is the India's lawyer. Okay, you can call it as the India's lawyer who will represent the Indian members cases in the international court. Auditor general is the administrative head related to the audit or the financial report. The president appoints the judges of the Supreme Court and the High Court and the ambassador of the country as well. It is the president who appoints the Supreme Court judge and the High Court judges. Dear students, talking about the military powers, the president is the supreme commander of defense force. Okay, all the defense forces, that is army, navy and air force, the head of all the three forces is the president, and he can and she can declare war or any country, or he can conclude the peace, but that will be again with the discussion or under the guidance of the prime minister. In short, whatever prime minister will say, the president will have to do it. Coming to the legislature power, the president can summon or prorogue the parliament, means he can start or close the parliament. He will do the opening session. You all must have experience in the news channels and all that, where all the leaders are sitting and they are discussing the important matters. So that discussion twice a year it happens, and the opening session and the closing session is being done by the president. The president can also dissolve the Lok Sabha and order fresh elections. In the last video, we have discussed about when the government fails to do their work properly, and all the political party which are not in power, they orders the non-confidence motion, and the government collapse, and the political party which is ruling it gets collapsed. So fresh election will be appointed to for the next government. So that can be done by the president. President can call both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha for a joint session to discuss some important matters. If there is any disagreement on any law which has been not passed, one house has passed, the other house, Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, has passed, and other house is not passing it. So in that matter, the president can call the joint session. Each rule or each law is being passed on the name of the president. Till the president signs on the document, it will not be sanctioned or it will not be applied. The president also nominates the 12 members to the Rajya Sabha. We all know the members of Rajya Sabha are appointed by the members of Lok Sabha, but there are 12 members from the field of art, science, sports, entertainment, etc. They are nominated by the president. Okay, and when the parliament is not in session, okay, as we have discussed in the video itself, that twice the parliament session, the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, twice in an year, they meet to discuss about the important factors about the country. But if in case the parliament is not in session and some important emergency comes, so in that case, the president can make his or her own rules or own laws. That is called as an ordinance. Okay, direct rules by the president, of course with the consultation of the prime minister and the council of ministers. And this ordinance are called as executive orders, which are given by the president. These are the laws you can call as a temporary laws, and which are valid only for 6 weeks. By that time, the members will get a chance to meet again and discuss the point, and then it will be uh, applied. The new rules will be applied. Coming to the financial powers president. Financial powers, what are the financial powers of the president? The budget is presented to the parliament in the name of president. Now what is budget? Budget means the planning of the income and the expenditure. As we all give taxes, the citizens of the country give taxes to the government, that is the income of the government. And how that income will be utilized by the government, they make a plan yearly, every year, and that budget is presented in the name of president. All the money bills means rules or laws related to money of the country will be passed on the name of with the permission of the president. There is one more term, contingency fund money can be used by the government with the permission of the president. Now dear students, you must be thinking, what is contingency fund? Contingency fund is the money kept by the government for an emergency purpose. Like we all keep money aside from our saving, and that is saved for longer period of a time, and it is saved for an emergency purpose. So just like that, even the government saves money for emergency purpose, so that money is called as contingency fund. So if government wants money from that, they have to take permission from the president. Judicial powers. Now judicial power is a very important part. Dear students, president has the power to reduce, to free, or to expand any punishment given to any criminal. Okay, and nobody can question on his decision. Coming to the emergency powers, president is having then emergency powers as well. President can declare an emergency if the country undergoing in the following condition. If there is a any security issue of the country, or there is a threat that the other country can attack on us, so president can order the national emergency. In that case, the nation will be ready to, like army and the policemen and armed forces will be ready for that national emergency situation which they have to face. Coming to one more thing, if any state, talking about state means Maharashtra, Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, any state of the country, if there is a government failure, if government is not able to work properly, in that case, the president can take control of that rule, and in that case, the army, policeman, and all that will be following the instructions of the president and the governor, and not of the chief minister, if president rule is applied on any state. Coming to the financial stability, if there is any problem related to money or finance, in that case the president can issue the financial emergency, means the taxes can rise, the price of the commodities can be rise because the nation needs money, so that is called as financial emergency. However, the president cannot declare an emergency without the approval of the parliament. That goes without saying. Okay, now dear students, till now you must be studying about the powers of the president, but all the decision which president has to take, he has to consult with the prime minister and the council of minister. Now there is only one power, there is only one power, discretionary power, which the president can apply by himself, or can choose without any guidance or without taking permission of prime minister or council of minister. Only one power, that is discretionary power. Suppose In what is that situation? Suppose we have just studied that if there is a no clear majority, means no political party is able to form the government. No political party has won the number of seats, okay, to form a government. In that case, president by himself, by his own choice, can appoint the prime minister directly from any member of the Lok Sabha, any member, and he will ask him to form the government. And if he is able to form the government, well, if he is not able to form the government, then the president will take the other decision. So that is the only power president has, which he can take without the permission of anyone. Discretionary. Dear students, the second important executive member is the vice president of the country. The vice president's qualification is same just like of the president, that he should be the citizen of India, age should be 35 years, he should not hold any government post, he should be having all the qualification, all the qualities to be the member of Lok Sabha, etc. And even he is appointed for 5 years, and he is the chairman of the Rajya Sabha, the monitor of the Rajya Sabha. Okay, he organizes the Rajya Sabha meeting, and he hears all the points and then give the conclusions in the Rajya Sabha. What are the functions of the vice president? Vice president is ex officio chairperson of the Rajya Sabha, as discussed, and he or she takes over the functions of president in the absence of the president. In case of the vacancy in the office of the president, the vice president discharges his or her functions till the new president is elected. In any case of emergency, if the president is not available, then the vice president will act as the president. So, dear students, talking about the recap of the point, we have started. This is the video which will be giving you knowledge about the union executive. This is part 1 video. In part 2, we will be studying about the prime ministers and the council of ministers, how they are selected and what are their functions. I hope the role of president and the vice president is clear to you. We'll meet soon with the second part of the executive branch of the government. So till that time, have a great and safe time and journey. Thank you.